sure. Saludos, Thurston. So happy to see you here today, this on this Saturday evening watch market update show, Thurston. Good to see you. Let's see. Okay. Thank you, my brother. Thank you so much for the kind words. Thank you so much. Thank you. Saludos, Mr. Donut. Saludos. I like that. Big Boss is catching up. Saludos, Brit Boy. Wow, Pete. Wow. You should call us tomato. Okay. I'm gonna saludos. Bong. Saludos, Bong. Saludos to you, Mr. Bong. Unbelievable. So today I had a good day at the golf. You know, I went to I did a I think it was too many holes, but I did an 18 hole today of golf, you know, and I was telling a couple of the fellas, hey man, this is too much, you know, we can do 9 holes and that's it, you know, but we did a 18 hole and I felt like me sentía como una prostituta. Yes, sir. I got a couple of things I'm gonna share with you guys today, Mr. Donut. You know, 18 holes is a lot. It is. My ball was going all over the place. After the 13th hole, I said no más, no por like Roberto Duran, no más. You know, no más. But I had a good day. I still clobbered the boys, even though you know I still clobbered them. You know, I still clobber those Michiganders. We bet on a couple of beers, you know, and a couple of cheeseburgers. You're playing tomorrow. Good for you, Pete. Beautiful. The weather was beautiful today. You know, I don't know how the weather over there is where you're at, but it was beautiful here today in Miami. Miami. It was very very nice. Hope you have a beautiful game tomorrow. Good game tomorrow, Pete. Yes, it was, right, Thurston? You're from here, right, Thurston? I believe. You're from here. I think North Miami, something to that, if I remember. I think. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, Thurston. Hey, guys, how do you spell perfume? Somebody spell for me perfume. 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 I'm going to put perfume. Perfume, you know, perfume to smell good, you know, not to smell like a skunk. Okay, then I had it right. I had it right then. Thank you so much, Mr. Donut. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, let's get into business now, guys, okay? Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Mr. Donut, again, one more time. And I want to, just before I start, I want to thank all of you 10 that are here live on this live stream on Saturday night. Thank you for joining me. Okay, guys, I think I have a nice watch show for you guys. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back once again to the greatest watch market update show. This is the only public service watch announcement channel left out there. You know, the rest have gone, but we're still here. I am your host, the Big Boss. Okay, I am your host, the Big Boss. I'm alone today because Sweet Kid Kino, he had a couple of engagements today with his main squeeze, so I am alone. So if I need any of your help, please volunteer to help me out when you see me lost. You know, please volunteer to help me out. We also have a private watch group. Is under my name, Juan Felipe Nieves, is on Bookface. Go to About, and you'll find there opposite time watches, and maybe you can get into the, get into the group. All right, guys? All right. Anyway, guys, I want to start by telling all of you, that the price nationwide, and I repeat, the price nationwide of gas, that means regular gas. I don't know how much it costs where you guys are at. I'm telling you, at least where I live at, is at $3.47 a gallon. All right? Let that sink in your head. $3.47 a gallon. Just to let you know what's happening. So you understand that a dollar today buys you a nickel. That's all. I also want to start by telling all of you that, yes, it's profitable. I was trying to, get out of this conversation, but Mr. Donut, he's saying it, the war is very profitable. And all these people are making money like you won't believe it. You guys don't have an idea the amount of money that these people are making. I was going to give you the price of precious metal, but since we're talking about gas nationwide, I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, something that you need to know. Something that you need to know so you understand how this works. The gentleman Pennsylvania Avenue, Honestly, I believe if we're going to do a report card, I'm not going to be able to give you the gradings on Pennsylvania Avenue. I'll let you guys decide what kind of grades he deserves, okay? But I am going to tell you this. Pennsylvania Avenue has a son, and his son is like 6 feet 9 inches tall. Unbelievable. I'm 6'3", sometimes I can be 6'4", and this, as I get older, I slump down, I become 6'2", This kid is 6 feet 9 inches, ladies and gentlemen. And I want you guys to know this so you understand how this business works. Just 2 days before the war hit, I'm talking about war because Mr. Donut was saying that war is a very profitable business. And I'm going to tell you how profitable it is. Because, all of us, pobrecito, we're lambones. We're lambones and we don't have information out there, You know what I'm trying to say, Mr. Donut. Thank you very much for what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. But I'm going to give credit to that young kid, the Pennsylvania Avenue's son, 6 feet 9 inches. I want to just get this out of the way. He did go, and I repeat, he did go to one of the best business schools out there. He did go to one of the best business schools out there. Pete the watch collector is the dad is 6 feet 5, okay? This kid is 6 feet 9 inches, 6 feet 9 inches. And he did go to one of the best business schools you can buy, okay? But I want you to know something. 2 days. Remember this. Just 2 days. Exactly. Thank you, Coño Pete. You're on top of the game. Read what Mr. Pete wrote down, and that's the school that kid went to. So he did. So we already know a couple of, recovering tomato cans already knows that he did go to one of the best, if not the best business school you can buy. It is. But listen to this. 2 days before the first firecracker hit over there, down there, the war is going on. Well, we're going to have to go into war. We're going to have to go into war anyway. But anyway, 2 days before the first firecracker hit, 2 days, the kid from Wharton Business School, 6 feet 9 inches, you don't know what he did. Does anybody know what he did? Does anybody know what he did? I want you to see how this money is going to become like, about how many times it's going to go now. Times, 10 times, 20 times, 5 times. The kid the kid from Wharton Business School, Pennsylvania Avenue son, he laid out, I don't know, I'm only telling you what I read. He laid out 2 days before the war, $30 million on oil. On oil. Just to let you know, he went to the best business school and he laid $30 million on oil. 30 millones, papá. Put it all on red. It's a sure bet. It ain't gonna lose. It's a sure bet. 30 millones, just to let you know. And gasoline for you and for me at $3.47 a gallon. You understand me? For us people, us people, it's up to 50%. I'm just trying to tell you something, Thurston. I'm just trying to tell you something, Mr. Donald. Please don't blame it on me. I'm only a reader. I'm only a reader. I go to the bathroom and I read in the bathroom. I hide from everybody. I hide. I'm just telling you what I do. I hide. Porque esta gente son el diablo. Esta gente son, mira, el diablo. El diablo. With little horns. Little horns, they're here. And then they come up. Little horns. Just to let you know. He put 30 million. And Thurston Howell III has told me the trade is up 50%. 50%. Papi. Thurston Howell III and Pete and Mr. Donut and Mark. Is that inside trading or did the Wharton Business School teach the 6'9" Pennsylvania Avenue son? That. You tell me what it was, because if you told me it's business, I believe you guys, because ustedes son inteligente. You guys are smart. $30 million on red, and it's a sure bet. I'm telling you, if that lady Pelosi can do it, 6'9" can do it too. That's how they see it. That's how they see it. But I told you something. If you think that Pelosi is made big money, you haven't seen what these people are gonna make when they leave there. It's bees, with bees, billions. They didn't go in there to look for millions. They didn't go in there to look for millions. They went in there looking for billions. The books have been cooked. Like no more pigs this Christmas. No more pigs. You don't know about that. You don't know about that. I'm just letting you know. Enough of that, because, we have a lot of things we're talking about, I told you gas is at $3.47 nationwide and 6'9" 2 days before the first firecracker hit, he laid 30 million on red. That's all. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I got something to tell you. Rolex, the king of watches. Rolex, the king of watches, and Birkin. Birkin, the queen of bags. Birkin, the queen of bags, and Rolex, the king of watches. I'm going to tell you this because you guys need to know this, because they're not going to keep on telling you. This is why you have all these things going on with yard court and deputy boxing black eyes with Tweety Bird haircut and his sidekick, Jiminy Cricket, with the Chia Pet spray kind of hair with a little spot here, not growing in, I think he painted his hair kind of brownish, like red, This is why they're doing that with yard court. Listen to me, what I'm saying, and everything that I'm saying is allegedly. So please, ladies and gentlemen, we must first salute the owl. Let's do the wave all together. Do the wave, everybody. Do this. Unbelievable, Unbelievable. Understand me? I'm going to do this. Salute, salute. Salute him, so we don't get a TV tower lightning, and shut off our channel. But I want you to know this because this is the reason that those people are doing what they're doing, because nobody's buying watches out there. Nobody. The Rolex Birkin, the Rolex Birkin wait list is shrinking. The Rolex and Birkin list is shrinking, ladies and gentlemen. Shrinking as luxury resale prices fall. That's right. You don't believe me? You Google it. You Google it. I do my homework and you should do your homework. You understand? It's shrinking. It's shrinking like the Titanic. You know, like the guys in the violin. And remember in the Titanic? The Titanic, the violin players was and the boat was shrinking, you know. It was shrinking and shrinking in, you know. It was all the way down. You know, all the way down. So I want you to know, ladies and gentlemen, that the prices are falling faster. The prices are falling faster than Bill Clinton's pants in an Arkansas farmhouse. Just to let you know, because somebody has to tell you what's going on. Because this is the only public service watch announcement channel left out there. And ladies and gentlemen, I got a secret to tell you. And they want to turn me off. And they want to turn me off. This is why I tell all of you, like right now, 16 organic watch channel tomato can recovering. Tomato cans and only 6 thumbs up. Of course they're going to shut us down. There's no power with you people. And then when I'm gone, you guys are all going to be scratching your ears. Where's the big boss at? He gone. The big boss gone. But I'm here telling you the truth, ladies and gentlemen. Somebody got to tell you the truth. And I've been chosen to tell you the truth. You know, it's like when they choose you, you know, to go into one of those, you know, secret society, you know, cults. I've been chosen to do this, ladies and gentlemen. Only you guys don't know that. But I've been chosen, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you what's going on. I'm telling you the Rolex and the Birkin wait lists are shrinking and are shrinking faster and are shrinking and sinking faster than the Titanic with the violin players. With the violin players. You imagine you're being on a ship, cruise ship, and the boat is sinking and you just keep on playing the captain. You know what I'm saying? Unbelievable. So there it is. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. No más. Just to let you know, para que no sigan de pendejo. Para que no sigan de pendejo. No sigan de pendejo. You see right now what that means to me? That the 18 recovering tomato cans that we have right now, looking at this channel, 7 are real recovering tomato cans. Real tomato cans. And 12 are just spooking around. You understand me? That's what that means. 18 in total, and we only have 8 real recovering tomato cans, and the red are just spooking because they're watching me. They're watching me from over there from TV land. Just to let you know. Okay? I gave you gas. I gave you Pennsylvania Avenue Sun, 6'9". I gave you Rolex and Birkin. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you the prices of precious metals. The price of palladium is at $1,662 a troy ounce. The price of platinum is at $2,141 a troy ounce. To the ones that are following precious metal, this is for you guys. If you don't care about that, don't worry about it. Tápate los oídos. Lambón, morón. Silver. Silver is at $84 a troy ounce. And ladies and gentlemen, gold, pure gold, 24 karat, 23, 22 karat, is at $5,190 a troy ounce, all right? Just to let you know. You know, ladies and gentlemen, we have a team here. We have a team here in Miami, Florida, that they play with a white and black ball, white and black ball. It had like, I don't like octagons. The ball has octagons and the ball is white. You know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm trying to say. All the way up, all the way up. And we have a team that plays with that ball, with the white ball with black octagons, unbelievable ball, unbelievable ball. And it's called the Miami CF, Miami CF, it's a soccer team, it's a fixed team, unbelievable. This MLS, is the team was at the bottom, and then they brought that small little guy, a little small, like 5 feet 2 inches, They brought him in, and suddenly they won La Copa. La Copa, you know what I'm trying to say, So the team over here, the team from here, from Miami CF, and they won La Copa, and they all had to go. They were all invited to go over there to Pennsylvania Avenue, to La Casa Blanca. And they went over there, ladies and gentlemen, and they presented number 47 with a beautiful Miami CF, soccer jersey with 47 in the back, and unbelievable. And people were going nuts, because the president got a beautiful soccer, shirt with his number 47, But then the small little guy, like 5'2", 5 feet 2 inches, he came in, ladies and gentlemen, and to my surprise, and to my amaze, ladies and gentlemen, Saludos, Doc Maker, Florida, saludos. To my amaze, ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to believe the soccer player, that guy, Messi, number 10. He went over there, and he said, Señor Presidente, Mr. President, and, the guy from Pennsylvania looked, what happened here, because they already gave him the present. They gave him a beautiful pink shirt, with a big anchor, Royal Caribbean anchor. I don't know, what I'm saying? They gave him that already. So the small little guy, 5 feet 2 inches, says, Señor Presidente, I got something for you. Not the team. No, himself. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know, who did this, but the kid, this 5 feet 2 inches, number 10, a guy Messi, he said, Mr. Presidente, I got something for you special. And ladies and gentlemen, he gave him something that's going to blow your hair back and knock your socks off. I know you don't know about this, because the only thing that you guys know about is how to get flim-flam, how to get fleeced, how to get hoodwinked by all these hucksters. But in this channel, we come to tell you what it is. Paco Gambino was 5'3". Imagine that. This guy is smaller than Paco Gambino. 5'3", Paco Gambino. This guy's like 5'2". So he says, Señor Presidente, Mr. President, I got a gift for you. I got a gift for you. And, Pennsylvania Avenue se asustó, got scared, Gave him a box. In the box, it said Tudor. Tudor. The box said Tudor. And, Señor Presidente, this is for you, I was pretty surprised, unbelievable president from 47, with that Pennsylvania, number 47. They gave him the box, and he opened it up, ladies and gentlemen. You're not going to believe this. When I tell you this, you're not going to believe this. He gave him a black bay. No more pigs this Christmas. No more pigs. No more pigs this Christmas, ladies and gentlemen. No more pigs with lipstick. A pig with lipstick. He gave him a Black Bay chronograph. A Black Bay chronograph from Tudor. From Tudor. Am I pronouncing the name correctly? Tudor? He gave him a Miss Piggy. He gave him a Miss Piggy, ladies and gentlemen. He gave the president, unbelievable at Thurston. Le regaló un lechón. Le regaló un lechón. He gave the president un lechón, a pig. No more pigs this Christmas. No more pigs. He gave him a Black Bay Tudor chronograph with a pink dial. Let's not say no more Miss Piggy, because we're talking about our president, from over there, over there, Pennsylvania Avenue, number 47, But that small guy, 5 feet 2 inches, he gave the president an oink oink. He gave him an oink oink, ladies and gentlemen. He gave him an oink oink. Let's see if anybody does a live stream like this one now talking about Miss Piggy. Miss Piggy, ladies and gentlemen, he gave him that. Just to let you know cómo está la situación, how the situation is, ladies and gentlemen. We cover everything. We cover all the territory all over the Pete. We cover it, Pete. Mr. Donut, we cover it. You know what I'm saying? We cover it. Thurston, we cover it. We cover it. We cover it. And I don't know, but I was looking at the situation to see how the reaction of number 47 was, and it was kind of, I don't know. You're gonna have to take a look at the video so you can see when the small little man gives him the box, and 47 is looking down at the kid, the number 10, the Messi, gives him the box. Just to let you know. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go to another, because we have many things. We can be here for, there's people out there that do live streams for 5 hours, right? Pero es hablando mierda, hablando de, porquería, hablando mierda, We talk here things that, te pone intelectual. And you guys teach me. Not only am I saying something, but the real truth is that you guys teach me. That's the only truth, That's what I got to say. But we cover everything, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, for years, I say for years because it's been years, there was a gentleman that was in the watch industry as well. And he hanged out with all that clique. He hanged out with the clique, with the Warriors Fat Bastard, with Deputy Boxing Black Eyes, You understand me? The Hungry Hippo, Mr. Magoo. They all hanged out together, Trucking sweat-stained hat with jumbo whiteout ears, small little hands, small little feet, 5 feet, 4 inches, with skin-tight leotard jeans. You know what I'm saying? They all hanged out together. And there was a gentleman that hanged out in that clique. It's unbelievable what they say. You know what I'm trying to say? That one. You're right. That one, Pete. That one. And ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to believe this, but there's a gentleman that he had to move away, He had to move away because things were not looking good for him. And, and they were hunting him down and he went away. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about no other than, and he's back again in the scene again, but quietly this time, quietly. His name is no other than Prune Face. Prune Face, ladies and gentlemen. Prune Face. Ladies and gentlemen, Prune Face, he did something to all of you, some years ago that I was one of the first. There are a lot of cheap knockoffs from the original. I'm the original. I am the original, ladies and gentlemen. Whether you want to believe it or not, I am the original. No matter what they say, el original, the original, soy yo, me. I'm the original one. No matter what they tell you. No matter who comes around, get it through your head. Get it through your head. The watch market is dead. It's dead. It's dead. It's dead. But Prune Face, ladies and gentlemen, Prune Face. So you understand how all these people work. So macabélico. So macabélico. So macabélico. These people are cretins. These people are an infection in the corner of your ingrown toenail with yellow-green pus. It's a school. It's a school of flim-flammers who love to fleece people. But that guy, absolutely, Pete, way to go. Hashtag that. Hashtag it, Pete. Hashtag that, Pete. Salute the owl. That guy, Prune Face, ladies and gentlemen, I was the one that called him out. I called him out. He was embarrassed because I had to call him out. Remember the word digital. Digital yard court, yard court digital, you know, deputy boxing black eyes, mystery box, mystery watch box. So you understand how this works. That guy, Prune Face, he had one of the biggest flim-flamming games prepared for all of you. And he had you guys hooked. Lo tenían que parecían pargos, parecían chenna. You know what chenna is? You know what a pargo is? You know what a chenna is? I'm not going to tell you. You Google it, because I'm not going to tell you. Parecían pargos, parecían chenna. Ustedes eran unas enchennas enfermas. Until I came along and I busted open, ladies and gentlemen. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Prune Face created something as what you're hearing now, a digital app. With this guy, this Prune Face is unbelievable. He had the digital vote. One more time, I repeat. He had the digital vote. And he wanted all of you to sign up on his digital vote. So when your watch got lost, stolen, your grandchild took it to school and lost it in school, whatever it was, he wanted you to join his club, put there the serial number of your watch. Hay que ser macabélico. Hay que ser bravo. You imagine this guy was asking you for everything about you. Even your social security. You imagine somebody telling you you're going to join listen to this, you're going to join my digital vote, whatever you call it, Volkswagen. You're going to pay me. You're going to give me all the information of your watch, and you're going to join my digital vote app. My digital vote app. That guy did that to you guys. And ladies and gentlemen, there was a real big stampede line. A real big long line ready for all of you to give away your watches to Prune Face. You imagine Prune Face? He would wear also skinny tight jeans with high top croquettes. Unbelievable. He had tattoos coming out. Remember the movie that Robert De Niro did? What was the name of that movie? That he was a bad guy in the movie, and he would do bad things to women. What was the name of that movie? Robert De Niro. It was probably one of the worst movies I've seen. Worse as being bad. It was a good movie, but he was a bad guy. Creep Night. What is the name of that movie? What's the name of that movie? Help me out, guys. Robert De Niro, and he was trying to do the nasty with a little girl in the movie. He was in a penitentiary. You know what I'm trying to say. You know what movie I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. No, it's not Angel Heart. It's not that one. It's unbelievable, that movie. He had tattoos and he would laugh. He was bad. It was like he was one of those people from jail that came out, and he was after the lawyer that put him in there. They wanted to put him in jail. Want to kill him. You want to kill him. You know what I'm talking about. Just look for it. You know what I'm saying. Well, that guy Prune Face, he had the same tattoos. Born to Die. That kind of name. No, it ain't Taxi Driver. It ain't Taxi Driver. It's it's a movie. Taxi's from the 75, 76. Year. This one is from the 90s. You know what I'm saying, Alberto? Saludos, Alberto, Italia, Forza Italia. Anyway, this guy Prune Face. Fear, Cape Fear. Coño, que bravo. ¿Quién es ese? Brick Boy, bravo. Cape Fear. The same thing. Prune Face is like Cape Fear, He had tattoos coming here, born to kill, born alive, all that's in his stomach, and it's unbelievable, una gonorrea. So this guy Prune Face, he did that digital vote. And he wanted Alberto to, he wanted Alberto to send him his serial number from his emoji watch, understand? That's what he wanted him to do. You know, he wanted all of you to send your Le Mans, Daytona with your serial number, your address, you know, all your information, your house. It's unbelievable. And I called him out. And I call him out. I call him a cretin. I call him a cockroach. I call him una rata. So this guy, Pruneface, this is how these people play. They all play this way, ladies and gentlemen. They play this way. And now you have this gentleman over there, you know, Deputy Boxing Black Eyes, trying to do it this, you know, the serious way. It's the same flim-flamming. It's the same flim-flamming, ladies and gentlemen. I also want to tell all of you guys, so you guys understand what's happening. You know, I have a gentleman that sent me a little message, and in the message he tells me, I want you to know something, Juan. In those mystery watch boxes, I'm telling you that those watches come from Xinjiang. That's what he said, you know. I'm only telling you what they're saying, Xinjiang. You know, I'm just telling you what's going on. I told him, hey, listen, I don't know about that kind of stuff. He says, for sure, the boxes are from Xinjiang. Just to let you know what's going on. But you guys got to be very, very careful when you're dealing with that, you know, watch, you know, watch bazaar. You got to be careful with watch bazaar. You know, you got to be careful with watch bazaar because these people are up to no good. These people are here to flim-flam you, you know, and get your children's tuition money, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you what it is. I'm telling you what it is. You know what I do for you guys? I do it because I believe that you guys deserve somebody to. This shirt's a little bit, you know, I don't know what's going on, you know. I don't know what's going on. But you guys deserve better, you know? You know what I'm saying? You know, watch Bazaar. You know, watch Bazaar. You know, on this channel, we don't practice that, man. But, you know, we try to give you subliminal messages. Salute the owl. You know? So they don't throw us a TV tower lightning and knock off our studio because that's what they want to do, just to let you know. So be careful what's going on. Man, today I'm giving you so much information. You know, ain't you guys happy? Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you this. I already know this because I've been waiting for one. Because for a while, have I got it? No, I've gotten candles. I've gotten, they say one of the most expensive ones is the belt. I got the belt. They say that the pocket knife is very expensive too, but I haven't had the one that they are saying now, and they are saying it freely to all of you. We're talking about no other than Rolex. Rolex, you know, the king of watches. Rolex, the king of watches, is back again. Okay? Rolex, the king of watches, is back again, ladies and gentlemen. And I want you to know this because you guys need to know about this. Rolex, the king of watches, the crown has a perfume in a green bottle. You know, Rolex color green, you know, and it has a crown, the cap, you know, where you turn, you know, to open the perfume, it's a crown. It's a crown, ladies and gentlemen. They're not going to tell you this because they're not like us. They're not going to tell you this because they're not like us. Lean back, all the way up, all the way up. Give it away like the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And Rolex factory, these perfumes, listen to how much they cost. And they already said it. They always told me they were very expensive, but now it's true. I'm seeing it. They cost $575, a small little green bottle with a crown, you know, to wind up. $575. And ladies and gentlemen, check this out. Rolex, Rolex está jodido. I already told you that Rolex and Birkin, Rolex and Birkin's wait list is shrinking faster than Bill Clinton's pants. And now they're giving these, lucky, 2 cases to each AD, so they can give away these bottles of perfume to one of their, You know, one of those anchor, you know, customers, you know, con mucho dinero, you know. So that's going on just in case you don't know it. So if you are, you know, one of those people that are very, very connected with Rolex AD, you tell them that I said, you know, the big boss from Opus and Time Watches says that you guys have the $575 green bottle crown perfume by Rolex. And I'm a preferred customer, you know? So I'm telling you, I already made a phone call, you know, over there. I told them, hey, what's going on, Joey? What's going on, brother? I've been holding out on this perfume for the last couple of years. And let me explain to you something, ladies and gentlemen. They say that the perfume is, they say that, I don't know, I'm telling you, they say that Gucci made it. Rolex made a collaboration with Gucci, you know? I'm saying Gucci because I saw the movie last night with my wife, the movie Gucci. It's unbelievable, the movie. You guys should see it. But that lady's bad. She's mad. She sent them to get killed. You know, they whacked him in the movie. Poor guy, you know, Gucci, the Gucci guy, the son. It's unbelievable. So you know already that they have a perfume down over there, you know? I'm letting you guys know what's going on, all right? We're going to go into a watch market update. I hope you guys are enjoying this unbelievable watch market update show. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to start off with the watch brand H. Muser, Jungle Juice. On Saturday night, some, you know, Don Juan, the best. Don Juan, you know Don Juan? Te mete un par de palos, eso, las orejas te tiemblan. We're going to be talking about H. Muser, you know? The Ventura, you know? It's a small seconds, has a green, it has a deep green, you know, dial. It's unbelievable. H. Muser, unbelievable, you know, unbelievable. Nice strap, you know, reference number is the 23271202, 43 millimeter, you know, green strap, green dial, unbelievable, small second hands. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I'm a big fan of H. Muser. I am H. Muser. H. Muser. The Muser. H. Muser, the moose. The moose is loose. Unbelievable. And I'm going to tell you, don't pay for that H. Muser and Chi Ventura. Small seconds, green dial, green strap, 43 millimeter. Don't pay more. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. But don't pay more than $9,600 for that watch. You do whatever you want, ladies and gentlemen. It's your money. Ladies and gentlemen, we have another H. Muser and Chi. The 1200-1233. Enamel dial. Unbelievable. Special edition case. You know, it's unbelievable. Case back. Exhibition. 40 millimeter. You know, retail price of that watch is $32,000. $32,000. You know, it's like I said again, an Endeavor, you know, Century Seconds concept, you know, a concept. Imagine it's a concept, you know, unbelievable, unbelievable looking time machines, unbelievable. But ladies and gentlemen, I gotta tell you, you gotta be very careful with these watches because they're dropping faster than Bill Clinton's pants in an Arkansas farmhouse. And they are beautiful watches. Very, very beautiful watches. $32,000 is the retail price. Don't pay for the watch more than $18,700. You do whatever you want. I know we have a couple of H. Muser enthusiasts that belong to this channel, so this is for you, H. Muser. Ladies and gentlemen, we have another H. Muser. And unbelievable, you know? Unbelievable. The H, damn, Bill Clinton was enjoying those. He was, right? Wasn't he laughing? Didn't that guy look disturbed when he's in the lawyer taking the pictures away from him? You know, like, and he passes his, you know, index finger in his mouth. Que clase cochina, que gonorrea, que enferma, que enferma. You know, she was trying to control him because he got, I don't know, something, Alberto, algo le pasó en la cabeza, en la chola. You know, the head is not only for hair. The hair is to think, señor presidente, Mr. President Clinton. No sean tan baboso. You know, the lady, and he said, let me see page 4. You know, and he went, you know, un enfermo. Son gente enferma. Son come niños. You know what come niño is? Come niños. If you don't understand what come niño is, you Google it, because I'm not going to tell you. Or have one of your buddies tell you what come niño is. You don't know about this kind of stuff. You don't know about this kind of stuff. Forget about it. Forget about it. Forget about it. ¿Qué clase de cochino? Un corrupto. Un enfermo. Alberto es un enfermo. El Bill Clinton es un enfermo. Es una sabandija. Ladies and gentlemen, our next H Muser and Chi is the Amethyst Dial. Listen to this, man. Pervertido, pervertido, pervertido. La mente pudría. Pervertido. Amethyst Dial. Listen to this. 20-piece limited edition. This is a very, very rare H Muser. I'm telling you, 20 piezas en el mundo. 20 piezas. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, because you guys need to know. I mean, this is, you got to get this watch full set. You know, this watch, the retail, I don't even want to tell you the retail, but I am going to tell you, don't pay for that beautiful H Muser with the Amethyst dial. You Google it, you know. 20 pieces in the world. How much is that then, Doc Mick? How much? How much am I going to say? Because I know you know about this watch. How much? How much am I going to tell you not to pay for that watch? And not a penny more. How much? No cheating. No cheating. Nobody knows? Well, here it goes. I don't know, okay. Don't pay for that watch more than $22,000 and dropping faster than Billy Boy's pants in an Arkansas farmhouse. The watch market is dead in a backyard septic tank and smelly. Smelly, 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 just to let you know. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go into a watch, which is very, very nice. It's a Rolex two-tone. Rolex two-tone. Unbelievable, you know? This is a GMT. These are the kind of watches you're going to get in those mystery watch boxes, you know? You know, this is what you're going to get. This is what you're going to get. You're going to get a Rolex two-tone GMT 40 millimeter, reference number 116713LN. Yellow gold with stainless steel. Black, you know? Black dial with a black and gold numbers, ceramic bezel, you know? Two-tone. This is a two-tone watch. Does anybody know what I'm going to tell you for this watch? One more time. Rolex two-tone GMT. You know, yellow gold with stainless steel, 40 millimeter. Reference number 116713LN. Does anybody know? I wouldn't pay more than 16. Papa, you're giving your money away. So listen, if you're going to give your money away like that, Mr. Donut, you got to start giving it away to, you know, to the needy, you know, to the animal shelters. Not even to, no, don't, just give it to the animal shelters. Don't pay for that watch, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm telling you, don't pay for that watch. Don't pay for that watch more than $12,400 and dropping faster than Billy Boy's pants in an Arkansas farmhouse. You do whatever you want. Yes, it is. Lauren Ferrier is a good watch. Lauren Ferrier is a good watch. Yes, it is. Not many people, you know, it's a good watch. Good watch. Good watch. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to talk to you about a Rolex two-tone. This one is rose gold with stainless steel. It's a Yachtmaster, you know. It's a Yachtmaster with a chocolate dial. With a chocolate dial. And this watch is, I believe it's a 37 millimeter watch. You know, it's a 37 millimeter. I think it's 37, you know, 37 or 36. One of the two. It's the ladies one, you know. The Yachtmaster. Reference number 268621. Beautiful looking watch. Beautiful looking watch. But, sir, if you're looking for this watch for your side chick, your lover, whatever it is, whatever you're having, an affair, I don't know what it is. Don't pay for that watch. Coño Doc, coño Pete. Está bien, está bien, está bien. You guys want Mr. Dono, okay. Don't pay for that watch more than $12,300 and dropping faster than Billy Boy's pants, ladies and gentlemen. Watch market is dead. You do whatever you want. You guys do whatever you want. I'm gonna talk to you about a watch that you guys have to be aware of what's happening out there. This is a Rolex Rose Gold. Listen, this is a Rolex Rose Gold. And it's an unbelievable looking time machine. It's the reference number 336935 with a Jubilee bracelet, 42 millimeter. So, Rolex wants to join that same group that has, like an AP has the rhodium dial, right? The rhodium dial. So Rolex is joining that too, and they're making a Sky Dweller with a Jubilee bracelet, rose gold with a rhodium dial. Rhodium dial. And some people are asking for that watch. Listen and learn. They're asking for that watch $78,000, $76,000, because it has a rhodium dial. A rhodium dial. Wow, beautiful. I like that. I like that, Alberto. I like that. And they're asking for that. They call it the silver dial, but it's these Muppet Boiler Room secondary gray watch market channels and dealers, they're already stamping it as the rhodium dial. The Sky Dweller with the rhodium dial. Rhodium dial. No more pigs this Christmas. And I'm gonna tell you, ladies and gentlemen. No, Pete, this is rose gold. This is solid rose gold with a Jubilee bracelet, 42 millimeter with a rhodium silver dial. And I'm gonna tell you, because I'm stupid like that, papi. Yo no voy a dejar que te cojan de pendejo. I'm not gonna let these people keep on giving you the localization, I don't want you to get localized. So, here it goes, okay? I don't want you to get localized. Don't pay. Don't get scared. It's just a number, papi. The watch market is dead. I already told you. The wait list is over for Rolex and Birkin. Hermes Birkin, it's over. People, listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. Be careful. Be careful with your money. Let me finish with this watch, and I want to tell you what's coming next. Don't pay for this watch more than $64,700. You do whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you guys are aware, and we talk about watches here, we talk about what's happening with gold, we talk about what's happening with perfumes and all that good stuff, and all that. But Papa, I don't know if tomorrow, tonight, I don't know when they're gonna tell the young kids to get on those B-52 bombers, and they're gonna go over there and they're gonna settle the situation over there. They're gonna send all the boys over there, all the American flag boys. They're gonna go over there, they're gonna go over there to fight, because I think the war is gonna break out, because it's a big business. War is a big business. And ladies and gentlemen, I gotta tell you today that yes, thank you. Yes. I gotta tell you, ladies and gentlemen, when I was playing golf today, when I finished, I was watching TV, and I don't know if you guys were watching TV too, but I saw some news. I don't know how early, how late it was, but they were pulling out of the out of the plane, out of the bodies of those soldiers that lost their life over there, from 18, 20 to 54 years old of age, bringing them out, and it was kind of not a good thing to watch, and I think about it, and I think about my sad thing. So be careful, be careful what you're doing right now, because Nationwide gas gallon regular is $3.47 a gallon. And they told me that in California, this is what they told me, that it was at somewhere at $7, eh, you know. Yeah, I'm telling you, I don't know. It's not a good thing, so I honestly believe, am I rooting for that? No way, But if you ask me, do you think war is gonna break out? Man, I don't see no way around it. I don't, how, people are saying that the Alatola, I don't know how to pronounce that, the Alatola. Yeah, they got the Alatola, but they didn't get the whole army, from over there. They didn't get the whole army. So, um, so I think, and the guy from Pennsylvania Avenue, he doesn't want to settle for no conditions. Or you surrender, or or we localize you. You know, tú sabes. Or we localize you. Ponte en el paredón. We're gonna localize you. So I don't know when the call is gonna happen, but I think it's gonna be something. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, let's go. Yep, you're right, Brand. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. Everything you're saying is right. So I'm with you. How's that? But let me ask you a question, Brand. Do you think war is gonna break out? I know you're not hoping for that, but do you think it will? Or Pete, or Thurston, or Mr. Donut, or Alberto? Do you guys think that war is gonna break out? Very possible. Okay. There it is. That's good. Very possible is good enough for me, because I'm gonna jump in his bandwagon and say it's very possible it's gonna happen, guys. When you have these people with long horns, and Mr. Donut says something that wars are very profitable. Wow, to a wider conflict. Thank you very much, Thurston, for that one. Boots on the ground. Okay, it's gonna happen. I think it's gonna happen. So be careful the way you're spending your money, and because it's gonna happen. I think it's gonna happen. Okay. Yep. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't. I don't know. I don't know. And those people from over there, they're for real. And those people from over there, man, they have one thing that wow, the ICA is already there. Coño. I didn't know that, man. Draft like Vietnam. Wow. Okay. All right. All right, guys. You guys know what's going on. I don't know if it's going to be a Vietnam situation, because the Vietnam situation, nobody won there, man. I mean, so many soldiers were just sacrificed in that Vietnam War that nobody won that war. I don't know, man. I mean, nobody won that war. And let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, because some people ask me, you know, I'm going to talk about Puerto Rico. I don't know if you guys know this, but Puerto Rico. Some people say, well, how did Puerto Rico become, has part of the United States flag and the island and all this good stuff? I want to just say something to all of it that maybe you guys don't know about this. Yes, we do have, we belong part of some way we are. We're not directly connected or, Americans, but we are, we are Americans. And I want you to know that in every single war, the United States of America has been in, Puerto Rico has been one of the first to have their man over there in any war. Look into it, Google it. Just to let you know why is Puerto Rico part of the United States. Just finished telling you. because Puerto Rico has served in every single war the United States of America has been in. If you guys don't know that, today you just learned something again from me, not from Sweet Kid Kino. You learned from me, all right? All right, let's continue on with the watch market update, ladies and gentlemen. Our next watch, ladies and gentlemen, is Google it. Google it. Google it. Let me know how many wars we've been in. Los puertorriqueños. That's why we're part of the United States of America. That's why we have a passport that says USA. Somos una jodienda, papi. 3 millones. 3 millones de habitantes en la isla. 3 million plus people live in the island. And we've been in every single war for the Americans. Come on, no comas mierda. Ladies and gentlemen, part of the game. Ladies and gentlemen, our next watch is a Rolex Date Rose Gold with an olive green dial with a diamond bezel, 40 millimeter. Reference number 228345 with the letters RBR. And I'm going to tell all of you, this is a beautiful watch. And we're talking about, it's, all, the price that I'm going to give you is over that, over that retail price. Don't pay for that beautiful rose gold with an olive green dial, with a diamond factory bezel. Don't pay for that watch. You do whatever you want, but don't pay for that watch more than $57,500 and dropping. There's no money out there, papi. There's no money out there. Our next watch, ladies and gentlemen, is a Rolex stainless steel sub, froggy legs. I call this the froggy legs. It's a Submariner with a green ceramic bezel and a black dial. 41 millimeter, reference number 126610LV. Don't pay for that watch. You do whatever you want with your money, but don't pay for that watch more than $12,900. Don't pay more than $12,900. The watch market is dead, ladies and gentlemen. You guys still don't understand. You guys still don't understand that one of the main reasons that these people are joining forces with that yard court is because they can't sell watches no more. And now, ladies and gentlemen, they're going to start flim-flamming you guys because they're going to start asking you pretty soon that we're buying watches. That we're buying watches, that we're buying Rolex, that we're buying Cartier, that we're buying, these watches. We're buying them. And we're buying them at 40 and 50% off, whatever you're asking. So pretty soon you're going to hear the first commercial, coño, that big boss said it. They're going to be putting out there, we're buying watches now. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I can try to stop the bleeding. I can only try to stop the bleeding. But in reality, ladies and gentlemen, there's going to be a lot of sandbags and crumb bums and window lickers and palmolive dish lickers, possum kickers, cow tippers, tomato cans, who are going to buy the $10,000 mystery watch box. I can assure you that. Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me? Deputy Boxing Black Eyes? That's right. You're going to get them. Of course you're going to get them. Son unos morones. You're going to get them. But I can only stop it. And just from what I did, I'm driving them a little bit crazy. Just to let you know. Just to let you know. All right? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you my last two watches of the evening so you guys can continue your evening peacefully, But this watch that I'm going to talk to you is because these two watches, a collector wanted me to voice out the prices of these watches because he's looking into buying these two watches. And I said, no problem. I'll give you my, no, please. Okay, I'm going to give it to you. The first watch that I'm going to give you is a Rolex Daytona Oyster Flex, Rolex Daytona Oyster Flex. It's with a diamond bezel. It's with a giraffe, giraffe diamond dial, And this Daytona is called the Giraffe. Beautiful chocolate, rubber strap, with a chocolate diamond giraffe dial, beautiful diamonds all around the bezel, un relosazo. Un relosazo, you know? Exactly. Unbelievable, but it is a beautiful watch. And people are asking there 275, 252, this and that. And sir, I'm gonna tell you, no, Doc Mick of Florida, no, Poppy, no, 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 no. This is a beautiful Rolex Giraffe Daytona Rose Gold, you know, with a diamond bezel, big baguette diamond bezel. Oh, 165, 180, okay, 180, okay. So you know what I'm talking about already. Sir, I'm going to tell you, you do whatever you want. It's your money, and there's plenty of money there. There's a lot of meat on that watch. Oh, a lot of meat. Saludos, Wicked. But I'm going to tell all of you, don't pay for that watch, and especially that gentleman that I'm telling you. 275, 275, 260, 250 something. I'm going to tell all of you out there, don't pay for that watch. Don't pay more. Watch market is dead. Don't pay for that watch more than $223,000. That's all I got for you. It's a very, very, how can I say, it's a very low production watch. Very, very, very low production watch. You know, not being produced, you know, much. You gotta be a colossal. You gotta be a mammoth. You gotta be gigantor. You know, limited run, Bobby. It's a limited run. You know me, I'll tell you what I believe. That's a limited run. And that's why this person is looking at it because of that. Is he gonna buy it? I don't know. I already gave my price. You do whatever you want. If you want to pay $275, that's up to you. I gave you my price. Cash is king, Papi. You know, smart money is staying away from luxury goods. And the people that got that watch, for your information, are people that got the perfume from Rolex. You know, the green bottle with the crown cap. You know, they got it. You understand me? They got it. You know, they got that watch. What I'm trying to tell you is they got it at retail. They got that watch at retail. So you see that? There's my price. There it is. Watch collector seeing it. He knows what I gave, and there it is. I gave you my numbers. You know, not a Crown Royal. Not a Crown Royal. Not a Crown Royal. This is a watch que es para grande. Es para grande. And I'm going to tell you another one now that you're going to go, because you've seen this watch around. You've seen it. You've heard about it. But nobody plays around with that watch because it's another monster. It's another monster. El Jefe. I'm going to give it to you now. These two watches is for that gentleman. These two watches. These are the two watches he asked me, and I'm going to give them to you. And let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. Not that you guys don't need to know the prices. Of course you need to know the prices of these two watches, but I really don't fool around with these watches because these numbers are, you know, una locura, you know, 275, 256, and please don't pay more than, you know what I said. And this one, ladies and gentlemen, here it goes for all of you. I got your attention, I know, but I only got 16 thumbs up. Ustedes son unas prostitutas. You guys are a bunch of recovering tomato cans giving me only 16 thumbs up. No coma mierda. Ladies and gentlemen, this watch here is an AP. It's an Audemars Piguet Royal Oak. You ready for this? This is an Audemars Piguet Royal Oak. We got spookers. You know it. We got spookers. AP Royal. And they're listening to this. They listen to the giraffe, and they're going to listen to this one now. This one, you're going to go, no. This one, they even tell you, it's advertised what they're doing with this watch. It's advertised. The other one, like Mr. Donut said, is limited production. You know, very, very limited production. You know, the chocolate Daytona giraffe. But this one is even crazier. This is the AP Royal Oak Rose Gold. AP Royal Oak Rose Gold. Rainbow. You know, the bezel is the rainbow. The bezel, rainbow. You know, all those candy, you know, and the candy color, you know, colors, you know. Unbelievable. It's unbelievable watch. 41 millimeter. 41 millimeter, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievable, with a pave dial. Diamonds inside the, the dial is just pave dial, dust diamond, dust, dust diamond with the rainbow, rose gold, 41 millimeter, ladies and gentlemen. You want to hear the reference so you guys can look for it? Yeah, let me give it to you. 154130. One of 10 in the world. 1 of 10 in the world, ladies and gentlemen. If I tell you how much that watch was in the Corona beer era, you won't believe me, ladies and gentlemen. Exactly. It's crazy. Look at the number. Look at the number, $580,000, ladies and gentlemen. Does anybody know what price I'm going to tell that gentleman not to pay for that watch? Does anybody know? Does anybody know? 300K. I'm probably wrong. No, you're not probably wrong, Brand. You're not probably wrong. No, Mr. Donor, you're not probably wrong. Come on, somebody help me. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Who it is? 280,000. Go ahead. But you heard the retail price on that watch, ladies and gentlemen. 1 of 10 in the world. 1 of 10 in the world. And that gentleman reached out to me. This is a big shot. This guy is, esto es un monstruo. When you're looking, I'm looking at these watches. And someone has the watch. 1 of 10 is 1 of 10. You get localized. Once you get this watch, you get localized. It's collapsing in the secondary market. Correct. Imagine if they're collapsing, that they did a collab with Richard Mille, to do the Messi, to do the soccer watch, 290. You guys are all getting good. You guys are beautiful, ladies and gentlemen. So you understand what's going on. No sean pendejos ninguno de ustedes. Señor, no sea un pendejo. This gentleman, I'm going to tell you where he's from. He's from Chile. He's from Chile. He's from Chile. That's what I got to say. Señor, no sea pendejo. He's from Chile. And he's looking at these 2 watches. But this one is like, woof. Woof, 41, rose gold, pave dial, rainbow stones all over the place. 1 of 10 in the world. And here it goes, ladies and gentlemen, so you guys can continue skip hopping around through life like bunny rabbits. Don't pay for that watch, senor. You do whatever you want. You do whatever, TPT special. You do whatever you want. But they're there. They're watching me. Mr. Donut, 26 are watching me. I'm telling you, 26 are watching. This guy's a beast. That's what they're saying about me. This guy has single-handedly rattled, dismantled the Muppet Boiler Room secondary gray watch market all by himself. I said it wrong. Me and Sweet Kid Kino. And senor, I'm going to tell you because you need to know this. Don't pay for that watch. There's no money out there. There's no money. Smart money is staying away from luxury goods. We have a new slogan. No more spending. The no more spending challenge of 2026. The no more spending money challenge of 2026, senor. Don't pay for that watch more. Man, they leave, they get embarrassed and they run to the hills. They get embarrassed because they think I can see them. That's how stupid they are. They think I can see them. So unos lambones. Don't pay for that watch, ladies and gentlemen. Don't pay for that watch more than $267,000. There it is. You heard the retail. Did you hear the retail? 580. Or you might get dead. You do whatever you want. Not even a watch this 1 of 10 can hold. The one that bought it, I'm the King Kong. I got this watch. I got 1 of 10. 1 of 10. You got fleece. This is what you got. You got fleece. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this watch market update. I hope you really did enjoy it. I try to cover many, many different things. I want you to know that I'm on top of the situation of the mystery watch box. The digital, man, if you see how that works, man, how can you let people, tamper with, what numbers you're going to get? But anyway, I'm still on top of that game, right, guys? I need a favor from all of you, ladies and gentlemen. The only way we can continue attacking all these people is by you sharing that video, put it in your platform, put it everywhere so it can blow up. Anything that can help out people They are recovering tomato cans. Please help them out. Because let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to know this. Many people are going to buy the mystery watch box. All right? Many people are going to buy the watch box sketch. You know, the wet dream. The wet dream. They're hoping for a $50,000 watch. But instead, they are all going to get localized deep. Okay? Again, thank you so much for all your support. Thank you very much for all your support by being here with me tonight. A la persona de Europa, Italia, España, México, Chile, un abrazo a todo, a tutti. Lo quiero mucho. Have a wonderful night. And like me and Sweet Kino will say to you always, take care and brush your hair. Chao. Lo quiero mucho. Cuídese mucho. Cuídese mucho. Cuídese mucho. Have a good night. You're welcome. You're welcome. Bye-bye, guys. Lo quiero mucho. Chao.